Hey guys, welcome to the daily analysis for today. Today is Thursday, the 28th of February 2019, and the time is 9 a.m. here in the UK. You're looking at we're going to switch to an ADUCAD daily chart. And in today's analysis, sorry guys, just a little bit disorganized here this morning. In today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups across all these pairs. When I say all these pairs, I mean the ones listed here. I just don't have my highlighting tools. Where are they? Yeah, like I said, I'm a bit disorganized. All of these pairs, we're going to be looking for price action setups. When I say price action setups, I mean reversals, continuations, all setups, anything price action I'm willing to look at and potentially trade. So let's get started. Good morning, Paul. And good morning, everyone else. I'm going to kick things off with the news for today. Actually, we're going to kick things off with a brief announcement. Now, I've been saying this in emails to members, but in case anyone's missed it, in case anyone didn't hear, I will be going away on a short holiday. So I'll be away for about a week. So that means no webinars next week, guys. From the 5th, 6th, and 7th, that's when we normally have webinars, 5th, 6th, and 7th, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there won't be any webinars. I'll be back the following week and webinars will continue, analysis webinars will continue as normal. So there'll be no analysis on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's take a quick look at the calendar, see what's happening. So we got advanced GDP, or advanced GDP rather, not advanced. I mean, yeah, it's not that important. I'm not worried too much about this one. Fed Chairman Powell speaking, that one you got to worry about. Weird time for him to speak. Like an evening thing in the US, it seems. All right, so dinner, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, probably not too worried about this one. Yeah, with a dinner, you wouldn't expect audience questions. And audience questions is where you get the most movement. And this is a prepared speech. I wouldn't worry too much about this. Yeah, and then tomorrow we don't. So basically, rest of this week, the news, I'm not overly concerned with it. It's not really going to affect my trading, and it's not going to change the positions I'm taking. Even the speech, like I said, it seems like it's not going to be a speech that would affect us too much. The only thing I would worry about is if I'm in some low time frame trade. So if I'm trading the 15-minute charts, for example, or the 5-minute charts, all of these could be a problem. But when I say they're not a problem, we're talking about the higher time frame charts, which is the analysis we're doing today. 4 hour and above, I'm not too worried about these. So let's get into the actual analysis. We're going to kick things off with ADUCAD. We have an open setup here. I didn't take this one, but there's people who are in this short, just like the New Zealand CAD short. If you're in the, I think I shared these Monday or something like that. If you're in these trades, just hold on to them. They seem to be going pretty well. They have got a little bit of a pullback today, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. May as well hold on to it. See if it manages to push down to target by the end of this week. Silver is still heading down. That big spike up, that's some weird data. I think that's a bit of an error. Some brokers show it, some brokers don't. I did not get stopped out on this position. It's only a demo trade, and before anyone says, why is a professional trader trading demo? I do not trade commodities, so I'm just starting out on commodities, and even though this is technically a spot commodity, so it's pretty much Forex, I don't want to just dive in with real money to something I'm not familiar with. So I'm demo trading a few trades, and then I'm going to start trading with real money, but much smaller position size to what I would normally trade, and I'm going to up that position size. Anything new that I add to my strategy, so that's new setups, new pairs, you know, I ease them in slowly. I don't just go full on and cost myself money, because that's the dumb way of doing things. The smart way of doing things is to ease it into your strategy and follow the #1 rule that every trader should have, which is do not lose money. That's the #1 rule. Protect your capital. And you protect your capital by taking things slow and not by just blindly jumping in. So I'm demo trading commodities at the moment. In a few weeks, I'm probably going to switch to live trading smaller position sizes, and I'm going to work my way up from there to integrating it fully into my normal strategy. So this is a demo that I'm in. It's going pretty well. It was not stopped out, just to be clear, from that, because that did not appear on the broker I'm trading it with. I think pretty much that this is just an error showing up on TradingView. So yeah, it's going pretty decently. Silver and gold and oil, they all seem pretty predictable. They're very predictable, and they're kind of easy to trade. So that's why I'm looking into them. I'm kind of excited about these, to be honest. They got some nice strong trends, and when they fall into a range, the range is very obvious and easy to see. So I'm pretty excited about adding commodities into the rotation. Anyway, let's take a quick look at New Zealand CHF. Some people are short on New Zealand CHF. If you're holding that trade, you know, just hold on to it. It's going really, really well, so good work there. Did I share this one on Monday? I don't think I did. I think this one was a forum trade that someone else shared. Well, either way, you just hold on to it. It's going well. EURGBP, I shared a potential trade here on Monday. I said that if it stalled out on support, I'd be looking for a long. It obviously did not stall out on support. So right now, because it didn't stall out on support and it broke through it, I'm looking for a pullback to resistance and then a continuation down. So I'm still looking for that. It seems to be starting a pullback now. You know, this could be the start of a pullback, or it could just continue down from here. But if it's the start of a pullback and it pulls up to resistance, I'll be looking for a short from this resistance area. GBPJPY, similar situation, but just the opposite. It's broken through resistance. I'm looking for a pullback to support for a continuation, but this one's traveled quite a way from the resistance area it broke, so it's less likely to happen there. GBPUSD, similar situation. I'm looking for a pullback to support, so looking for price to pull back to here, continuation. Still looking for that. We're looking for that yesterday, and yesterday I said it's probably going to take a while for this to form. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't form until next week, to be honest, because we're looking at the daily chart, so it's going to be a little bit slow to turn around. GBPAUD. I want to potentially take a short from this resistance area. Pushed up to there yesterday, but it's just, yesterday I was looking for a potential, if it pulled back, for a potential long, but obviously it didn't pull back. Now that it's pushed up to this resistance area, it's clearly finding resistance here. So there is potential for a short, but right now where price is stalling out, that's a bit low, because if we were to enter short somewhere down here, we're going to get a pretty horrible risk to reward ratio by the next support area. So let's look for a short, but we need price to push up to resistance, further into resistance. So we're still watching all the pairs that we were watching yesterday. New Zealand USD. Yeah, nothing on here today. Euro USD. Nothing on here today. I'm going to move the commodities down there because we're not fully trading them yet. Or at least I'm not. Not a very talkative bunch here today. Only Paula said good morning. What's going on, guys? USD CAD, nothing much going on. ADUCAD pulling away from resistance. I'm not going to take a trade here. I don't like that at all, simply because there's already not much space between the support resistance areas, so I don't like that about it. Price bounced from here last time it attempted to push down, so that's even less space. No, I'm not interested in ADJPY. AUD New Zealand, nothing much there. CAD CHF, nothing much there. CAD JPY, nah. Euro AUD, nothing going on. Euro CAD, nothing. Euro JPY, nothing. Euro New Zealand, pulling away from resistance, but if you wanted to be in that trade, you should have already been in it. Way too late to enter. GBP New Zealand, nothing much. NZDCHF, finally broken out from this range. Looks like it's pushing down, but there's nothing that we would really want to trade, nor is there on USDJPY. Gold has finally hit that support area and is pulling away, so there's potential here for a long trade on gold. Let's move this one up here and let's take a quick look at US oil. Nothing going on there. So let's take a proper look at gold. There's potential for a long here. The long can be entered right away, really. Again, I'm going to be trading this on demo just until I get my bearings in commodities. Even though they're spot commodities, I'm going to be trading this on a demo. And I'm going to be journaling all the trades in my trade tracker or trade journal software. Sorry, not software, it's an Excel spreadsheet. I say software because I'm currently working on a project to make it into a website software or a web app and a phone app. But yeah, for now it's still an Excel. I'm going to be logging them in my Excel spreadsheet, get an idea of the performance of these trades, and go from there. But the point is, right now we're seeing a potential long setup here. So this would be a long continuation setup. We've got a nice strong trend here on gold. It's trending up heavily. Price has pushed up to here, come back down to support, and now it's turning around. We're getting signs of it turning around. So we want to trade in the direction of this trend. The trade could have already been entered on the 8 hour, but that would have been a pretty early entry, to be fair. You could enter it now. What am I doing? I again had a night of very little sleep, and it shows because I was just using that tool in the completely wrong way. The opposite direction. So yeah, if you enter now with a stop loss here, so this would be roughly. And again, I'm doing this on demo because I am not confident trading commodities. I know I've said that a million times, but I'm going to say it again. If you do not have any experience trading gold, silver, oil, be smart and don't jump in with real money. These are just test trades while we learn the subtleties of trading commodities using the spot market. or spot commodities, whatever you want to call them. Just be smart about it. I'm going to trade demo. I am going to enter probably about now. As soon as we finish up this webinar, I'll look for an entry. So my entry is going to be roughly 132.3.87. Stop loss roughly 1315.22, and my initial target is going to be up here, 1342.16. But obviously, because this is a continuation, I'm going to look to extend that target as far as I can. So I'm going to place my initial target there, but that's very, very quickly going to be extended if it starts moving up. It's going to be extended up to the resistance area. If it keeps moving up and the price action looks good, it's going to be extended beyond it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So that's another potential for today. So today's potentials have not changed much from yesterday's potentials. We have the same potential setups, except for the new one, which is gold. So GBPJPY, what we're looking for is we're looking for a pullback to the support area in order to go long, which basically would look something like this. That would be the pullback. That would be our long, hopefully. GBPUSD, similar situation. We're looking for a pullback to support in order to go long. EURGBP, we're looking for a pullback to resistance in order to go short. GBPAUD, I'm looking for price to go further into this resistance area in order to take a short reversal trade, counter trend. And gold, I'm going to enter right now, really. As soon as this webinar ends, I'm going to enter and just see how this one goes. I want to get in on this trend. It's a very strong trend, but do keep in mind that it's approaching a high that price has backed away from quite a lot in the past few years. So this is July 2016. It barely got above it, backed away. Barely got above it, backed away. Then in September 2017, got to it, backed away. Then again, Jan 2018, February 2018, March, April. So it seems to get to this area and back away. So let's be very careful with our targets, extending our targets beyond that area. But yeah, guys, that wraps it up for the analysis. Are there any questions today? You're in gold. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. What about USDCHF? Is that a question, or are you just saying you're in it? Paul, I don't really understand your question. If you're asking about a trade, you need to tell me the trade you're in. You know, like the entry, target, stop loss, the reasoning for getting in the trade. I can't really just guess that stuff. I mean, yeah, it could be starting a big move down. If you want to enter it, you can enter it. It'll be a bit risky. You could do something like this, get in now with a stop loss above those highs. Something like that if you want. I don't really like it. I don't see a clear setup with a good entry. This is the best I can do using price action. Sorry, that entry is a bit off. I'd want to be on the low of yesterday. I think it's way too risky. If you get your stop loss above here, that'd be better, but then you got an insane target. Minimum would be down there. USD-CAD 4 hour. Nope. So you're in a long. Barkes or Nick. I'm not sure what you mean by high wave. You talking about Elliott wave theory? You could definitely enter short if you want. I was looking for a short, but it hasn't really triggered for me. I'm still looking for a short opportunity, and one might show up soon, but the current one I'm seeing is just not safe enough for me. And Barkes. I don't really see a range on the 4 hour. There's no range here, but I mean, you could have got into a bullish reversal from here if you were trading the 4 hour, but it would have been tough because it turned around so quickly. Even on the 1 hour, it turned around quickly. I don't really see where you would have been able to get an entry and a stop and a. I just don't see where you'd be able to get into that one. Yeah, I saw what you meant when you said range, but a range isn't really established until it has two bounces from either side. You can't really call it a range unless it's actually been ranging. And this one hasn't really been ranging yet. Right, now we're getting that second bounce. If it comes back up and stalls up there, you know, then we could call that a range. But right now it's just... It's a bit early to say this is a ranging pair. No, the first bounce off the top is fine, but there's no second bounce from the bottom. There's one starting out now, but there is none at the moment. The first one from the top is okay-ish. It's half a bounce. It's acceptable, but it's not the best, but it's still acceptable. But there is no second bounce from the bottom, so there is no range really. You need two from the top, two from the bottom. At least that's my rules for a range. But I struggle to understand how anyone would call it a range if it's not had at least two bounces from the top and the bottom. So like, if there was a trader out there posting to YouTube, we're in a range, guys, and it's not had two from the top and two from the bottom, I just don't really see how it can be called a range, because it hasn't really ranged yet. It's just hit an area of resistance twice. So this, for example, is a minor resistance area. It's hit an area of resistance twice, but then it could just break straight through after that. So we're not really in a range. It's starting to look like a range now that it's bouncing away, but it hasn't bounced away yet. So also it's bouncing from the 200 moving average, which is valid on the 4-hour charts. So it could be ranging between the support and the 200 moving average. So by the time it gets up to here, instead of bouncing from here, it'll bounce from the 200, which, you know, might be down here at the time, if that makes sense. So let's say, I mean, it's unlikely that it's going to slope down this much, but just for illustration purposes, let's imagine the 200 moving average slopes down that much. It might go like that instead. But yeah, the 200 moving average will not slope down that much if price continues to move up, because then the average is going to kind of hold around about here, depending on how quickly it moves up, but if it continues to move up. So it will line up with this, you know, minor resistance area, I guess, and it could lead to But where's the 2 at the bottom? There are no 2 at the bottom. There's 1 at the bottom. Are you talking about that? this is a bounce. So that's one at the top, two at the top, one at the bottom, and one that's starting out but not a bounce yet at the bottom. A second one that's starting out. But yeah, there is no two at the bottom. Unless you're counting that, but you know, that's not, you can't really count that because after that, it moved, bounced around for a bunch of time and then it came back down. Okay, cool. Yeah, so to summarize, this isn't a range yet, but it could become one if this pushes up. Then we could potentially look for shorts from here, but this isn't a major resistance area, so it'd be pretty. Yeah, I mean, the range isn't confirmed until the two bounces have happened. So if you were to take a long here, then you'd be taking that long when the bounce hasn't happened yet. So it wouldn't be a range trade. I mean, I'm not saying you can't take a long there. It's a long from a support area. You can take that if you want. That's fine. But it wouldn't be a range long. Not that it matters. It would still be a long trade, so. But it would have been tough to enter this one on the 4 hour because look how quickly it turned around. It hit support and then the next candle, boom, turned around. So, yeah, you wouldn't really be looking for a long reversal here. Even on the 30-minute, it would have been tough to get any kind of decent entry there. Yeah, 15-minute, maybe. Would have been a tough one to enter. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up this webinar. So thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you guys on... No, sorry, I won't see you guys on Tuesday. I'll see you guys... For members, of course, I'll see you guys on the forum. But for everyone else, it's going to be the 12th of March because I'm away next week. So thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you later.